Hi everyone and welcome back to my bot tutorial. In this episode, we'll be covering how to do embeds and we'll make our user info command look better. So what we're going to do is we're going to open it up in code, open with code, and here is our file. If you haven't watched episode 3 on cogs, you need to do that right now because they are very important. So what we're going to do is we're going to add our new cog to here, which we're going to call cogs.utils. And then we'll create a brand new cog called utils.py. And just like the other cog we've got, we're going to do import discord and from discord.ext import commands. And then we're going to do class utils and it will derive from commands.cog. And we're going to create def init and we're going to pass self and client. And self.client will be equal to client. And then def setup client, we will have client.add underscore cog, whoopsies, and we'll do utils and pass client in. And we've created a cog. So we're going to create our first command in a cog. The way you do this, unlike in the main bot file, is we use @commands.command. And then we'll create a brand new command, async def user info. We'll have self ctx, and then we'll have a user, which is a discord.user, and so we don't have a none argument error in case a user isn't passed, we'll make the user none. This will set the user object to none by default, so that if a person doesn't pass a user, we don't have an error. Now, we're just going to simply check if the user is none by doing if user is none. And if it is, we'll say await ctx.send, please provide a user to get info on. And then we will return so the command doesn't execute any further. However, if a user was provided, we're just simply going to say await ctx.send the user.id. Alright, let's run our bot. And the bot started. Now we'll go to here and we will do !help, and we can see under our brand new utils cog we have user info. So we're going to do !user info, and I'm not going to provide a user, and as you can see it said please provide a user to get info on. However, if we do provide a user, let's say user info at Lumiobyte, and it prints my ID. That user info command that we just created is cool, but let's give it a bit more information. So to do that, let's go to the documentation, discord.py developer docs. I recommend bookmarking this, and we'll go to the main page. And then on here, we're just going to go to Discord models. These are all the discord.somethings, in this case discord.user. And we're going to scroll down until we find user. Where is it? Right here. We're going to click on it. And this is all the attributes that a discord.user, which is what's being passed in, has. So we can get his name, his ID, his discriminator, which is the 4-digit number at the end of the username. So mine is 0867 and it looks like this. His avatar, and we can check if it's a bot, a system user, and then there's a bunch of functions related to it, like creating a DM and a bunch of stuff that only self-bots can use. Don't create a self-bot, it's against terms of service, and a bunch more cool attributes that you can check if you need to. But just for simplicity's sake, we're only going to check 4 different things in this episode. I'm just going to check the user's name, his ID, his discriminator, and whether it's a bot. So, let's go and create our message. We'll create an F string by putting S, and then we will say user's name, and then we will put a colon and user.name, which is one of the attributes under here, as we can see, user.name. And then we will do /n, which will make a new line in the message. So in Discord, that /n will end up looking like this. So let's say I have e, and then if I put a /n and then EEE in the code, when we're actually in Discord, it will look like this. So that's how you make a line break. The reason I have this / here is to escape going out of the string, because if I remove that, the string would then end here, and this would all be outside of the string, and it would cause a syntax error. So to escape that, we will use a /. It should go blue if you're using Atom 1 Dark theme, or just a different color to your string. Then what we will do is we will do users ID, and we will do user.id. We'll do another line break, and we'll do users discriminator, or just discrim for short, user.discrim, and finally we'll do one more line break and check if the user is a bot by doing user is a bot, and then we'll do user.bot, and we'll remove all the extra colons inserted here by my editor. I'm not sure why that was. And now we have created a user info command, so let's run it. We can do this by restarting our bot, or if you have the load cog and unload cog commands, like I do, we could have just done that as well. Now we'll do user info at Lumiobyte, and I have made a mistake. I did user.discrim, but if we go and have a look at the docs, you can see it's user.discriminator. So let's fix this up. And we will restart our bot again, or we could have done load and unload cog, and then we'll just do user info at Lumiobyte. And look at that, user's name is Lumiobyte, user's ID is my ID, user's discrim, which is my discriminator, and am I a bot? No, I'm not. So let's demonstrate it on cool tutorial bot, and I'll do user info at cool tutorial bot, and as we can see, his name, his ID, his discriminator, and is he a bot? Which he is, because he is a bot. As we can see, our user info command has worked great. It's printed out our user information, and even though we made a mistake, we fixed it up pretty easily. But what if we wanted it to look better? Now we're going to use an embed. So let's go to our documentation, and we'll just find data classes, embed. This is what an embed looks like. This is one of my bots that I've created. It looks like a nice little box. You can set a color for the back line, and then you can list everything. You can create little fields, and it has all the markdown that is supported in TextChat, as well as, really cool feature, you can make clickable links. So people can just click on these and be taken to a website. And you can also add little things like footers, titles, headers. They can contain images, a little thumbnail image, a little profile image, anything you want. Embeds are extremely versatile. So let's find out how to use them. If we look in here, we can see a discord.embed has multiple different things we can set about it. So let's create an embed by doing embed equals discord.embed, and we will just not pass anything in here for now because we don't know what to pass yet. We're going to read up in the docs, and you can see we can set a color, and we can set a title, we can set a description. These are all things that need to be passed when you create an embed. So what we'll do is we'll pass a title, which will be user info, and then we'll pass a description, which will be here is some information about, and then user.name, and we'll make sure to make it an F string. And then we'll pass a color, and this color will be a discord.color object. So let's find out what kind of colors we can have. We can have a raw integer color value, or there are actually multiple different colors that we can use that are already set, like teal, green, purple, magenta, lots of colors. They're all listed right here. So we're going to create a nice discord.color.blue embed, and we'll make sure to use parentheses because this is a class method, and methods need parentheses. But now we need to add something more interesting to the embed, because this is just a title and a description. So what we should do is we should put all of this inside our embed. How we're going to do that is we're going to go back to our embed docs, and we're going to scroll around until we find add underscore field. Now a field is probably the best part about an embed. If I go back to this embed I showed you guys here, this is one field. A field has a title in which there is no markdown or formatting, and then a description in which you can have markdown, formatting, emojis, whatever you want. And this is one field, and they can be inline or not inline. This is an example of not inline field. Each field is below the other. And then if we do is.help, which is my other bot, image search, this is an example of inline fields. So we can have one field next to another, next to another. So let's go back to our test server and we'll learn how to make a field. So we'll do embed.add_field, and then as we can see we need to pass a name, a value, and whether it's inline or not. So let's do name equals, and then we'll just make the name user, which will be the user hash discriminator, as I showed you back in episode 2, and I also showed you in episode 3 with the join and leave events. And then we'll do the value is equal to the same thing as up here, our f string, and we'll just paste this in here, just like that. So now we have created an embed with a title of user info, a description of here is some information about user's name, the color of that line on the back side will be blue, and then we have a field with the name of the user hash their discriminator, and then we have all of their information. So let's restart our bot just for ease of testing, and I'll go back here and then we'll do user info at Lumiobyte. But nothing happened. Where's our embed? Well, we have to send the embed, of course. So we can remove our old ctx.send, and instead we'll do await ctx.send embed equals embed. This will send this embed object that we created just like it's a normal message. And actually, I'll just demonstrate we can send a normal message as well as this embed. So I'll just say wave emoji, and we'll also send the embed. Let's restart our bot, and then we'll test this by doing user info at Lumiobyte, and as we can see, this is our message, and then it put our user info. This is very cool, isn't it? It's a nice clean way of putting all of your stuff in one thing, and you can also add multiple fields. You're not limited to just one. Just for demonstration purposes, I will copy and paste this field 3 times, and we'll restart the bot, and now this will appear 3 times in our embed. By doing user info at Lumiobyte, we can see we have 3 inline fields of the same thing because I copied and pasted it, but you could have anything in these. And all you need to do to make them not inline and always go straight down is just at the end of the text of value, you just do inline equals false. Let's restart the bot to demonstrate that. And now the first field is inline false, so it won't have anything next to it no matter what. And the other 2 are inline true, so they do have things next to them. Finally, let's create a little image for our embed. But what image should we use? for our embed? Well, none other than the user's avatar. What we can do is if we scroll through here and go past all of the friendship, relationship stuff, we can find avatar_URL. If we go to our embed reference, which is right here, we can scroll up until we find set thumbnail, which takes a URL. So what we'll do is we'll go here and embed.set_thumbnail, and we'll set this to URL equals user.avatar_URL. Now our embed will be the user's information and a little picture in the corner of their avatar. So let's demonstrate. User info at Lumiobyte, and as we can see, we have our title, a description, our field with my name and my information, and a little thumbnail with my avatar right here. And that is how you create an embed. Embeds are very versatile. If you want to learn more about them, all you need to do is read up in the docs. Everything is documented there, and it's really easy to read and understand because of the nice class structure of the whole library and the whole language. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I hope it was helpful for you, and next episode we'll cover some basic moderation like kick, ban and mute. I'll see you in the next one.